Hey everyone, what's up? It's Babylonius from peakofserenity.com here with the third boss in my Mythic Castle Nathria guide series or commentary series, whatever you want to call it. Um, you can see third was Hungering Destroyer. I was not in on our first kill, so this is a video of our second kill. I wasn't in because up until this video was taken, I played this fight exceptionally poorly, both in single target, or sorry, both in normal, heroic, everything else. I played the boss very, very poorly. So I sat myself out on progression on purpose because I didn't want to risk slowing everything down. So this is our second kill. So things ran very smoothly. Uh, this was getting in before we could go off to kill Zymox. So let's dive right into it. Hungering Destroyer is a primarily single target boss. There's no other ads, so you can set up entirely for single target. It's one that you're going to want to watch the cooldown time, the timings of things, because there are situations where it can really screw up your DPS timings. I'm not going to go over a ton about the strategy, but as you can see, I was standing here. I was in the green group, so it was my job to help keep up the person with the miasma at green, as well as avoid those beams, which I almost did a very poor job of doing there. So you open pretty standard with your single target opening. Do as much damage as you can. Windwalker has a very easy time with this. You'll see I get the miasma and just roll to the next spot, stand here, and go about my business. Expunge here is out, as you'll see. Puts these blue circles around everybody. Windwalker is also very strong at this. It happens at a spread out enough time that you can have a defensive cooldown for each one. So as you see here, I pop Touch of Karma. Damage goes out, and then I can eat my orb just to help clear up some space. So the next time one comes out, I'll use Diffuse Magic and do the same thing just to help keep the space clean, help reduce the damage on and open up more space for us to move. As you see, my miasma falls off, so I go back to my spot and helping green stay alive. Not a ton other than that, just by the nature of when our cooldowns are, it's better to use them on Expunge. Most of the time your healers are going to be using cooldowns on Desolate. So you see Expunge is out, I pop Dampen or Diffuse Magic. Again, eat that while the reduced damage is out just to help keep things clear. While you doing the miasma, you can't heal yourself. You have to be near other people and leech health away from them. That's what's important. And you see here, what is up is Consume, and that's when you have to run away. This is where melee loses a lot of uptime on this boss, and it's something that can really mess up your cooldown timings if you're not looking. So you see my cooldowns are up in about 20 seconds, and Consume over here is about a minute 20. So the second use works out fine with mechanics as well, since I'm using my defensive, so I don't have to run out away from the Expunge and can keep a higher level of uptime on the boss. Other than that, it's a very straightforward boss. Your healers are going to be the ones doing the heavy lifting here. You're going to be just kind of following the mechanics. So you see next Expunge, I use Touch of Karma, walk into my orb to eat up the last of my Touch of Karma, and it's very easy. Touch of Karma is very nice on this boss, just due to the timings, since the mechanics come out every 45 seconds or so. You'll see people get beams. And when you get a beam, you're just going to want to move to a position where you're not going to hit other people. You'll see here I popped all my defensives again. It's up in the good amount of time to keep going with them. I won't have a second Storm Earth and Fire for that one. Again, another one. Diffuse Magic is up. Do that, eat that, save a bunch of healing for everybody. Incredibly useful there. So I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Right, so you can see it's pretty much rinse and repeat. I get the beam, move out to the side, we get a Consume, and run away. One of the things during Consume is that the damage he deals to you guys will heal him. So it can be very useful for your group to make sure you get a Rising Sun kick off on that target before you have to run out. To the boss, sorry, before you have to run out. And this is because then your Rising Sun Kick puts the Mortal Strike debuff on him, and he takes 50% reduced healing. That just makes things a little bit cushier. He'll take less healing and whatnot that way. So it's a lot more useful in that regard. When doing stuff like this, you're going to want to measure your health a little bit. If you drop below 50, you're going to want to make sure to call out to people to help you out and help heal you back up. If you're above 80, you're probably okay. But other than that, it's going to be up to your team members to manage your health as best you can. So again, another expunge, another diffuse magic, and go on and so forth. So again, my cooldowns are up here, but you notice, well, I did actually pop Storm, Earth, and Fire because I'm an idiot, but I should have saved it here because obviously here's Consume, and that means that I'm not going to be dealing any damage. So the best thing to do would have been just to hold it for another couple seconds, and then I would have all of my cooldowns here at the start. To blast as much damage as possible. So I lost a little bit of damage not having a second Storm, Earth, and Fire charge for this. Um, so that's kind of something to be attentive to. The third Consume will line up shortly after your cooldowns will come up again. So that's something you want to be attentive of. Other than that, there's not a lot of things you need to worry about as long as you're managing your debuffs and using your defensives so that you don't have to run out. You'll be in a situation where you don't have to run out that far and lose uptime. See, I died there. My team let me rot to death, unfortunately, and several of them were scolded for that afterwards. Not really, but kind of. But yeah, so you see, it's just a rinse and repeat. Ideally we would have killed it right before that just for a little bit more additional damage. But it's just rinse and repeat until the boss goes down, and that's where he falls. So very straightforward. I liked this fight a lot more when I was a lot more locked in and performing it much better. Obviously, the better you perform, the more fun you might be having, like I was. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's not a ton of super min-maxing that you can do on this fight. It's just single target slog and bursting. So not a ton of special tips for the bosses. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel for other videos. Check out my other guides, other kill commentaries, and stuff like that. And check out the description below, information about my Twitch channel, my Twitter, and Peak of Serenity Monk Discord and Monk website where you can find out a lot more information about Windwalker, certainly a lot more than I can explain in most of these videos. So if you want to support me through Patreon and PayPal, also down below in the description. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, have a good night, morning, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are.